Right now, remembering Pope Francis. We have a reaction from a local bishop on the legacy the pontiff leaves behind.
Plus, 2 people charged in connection with the death of an Evansville teenager appear in court.
And later, a bull elk illegally shot and killed in northwestern Wisconsin. What the DNR is saying about its investigation. And we welcome you to News 3 Now at 6. And you are taking a live look at Vatican City at this hour as the world continues to mourn the death of Pope Francis. The Catholic Church now holding a 9-day mourning period for the late pontiff. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Eric Franke.
And I'm Sarah Carlson. We begin with the passing of Pope Francis. The Vatican says the 88-year-old pontiff died this morning, less than a day after he appeared in St. Peter's Square for Easter. He was the first pope born in the Americas, and Pope Francis put migrants, the poor, and marginalized at the center of his 12-year papacy. Just last month, the pope was released from the hospital after a 5-week-long stay for double pneumonia. Pope Francis' funeral had to be held within 6 days of his death. And then, 15 to 20 days after his passing, cardinals from around the world will come to the Vatican to begin the process of selecting the next pope. And of course, the news of Pope Francis' death is sending shockwaves around the world, especially following his appearance at Easter Sunday services.
And tonight, our Kyle Pozorski has local reaction to the news of Pope Francis' death.
It's an overwhelming feeling of sadness as people reflect on the life of Pope Francis, a man who touched so many around the world. Parishioners of St. Patrick's Church of Madison say Francis will be remembered for his love of all.
If there's one thing that most people agree on, it's just how loving and empathetic he was.
And commitment to humanity.
We're also very grateful for his papacy and all the things that he did for people around the world.
The Pope of 12 years served until the very end, making a final appearance at Sunday's Easter services amongst a roaring crowd of the faithful. Following the news of his passing, a somber bell ringing out Monday at the offices of the Diocese of Madison, tolling every 7 seconds to honor the leader of the Catholic Church.
He's not just the CEO of this mammoth global organization. He's really our father. We call him the Holy Father.
Bishop Donald Hines saying that final appearance Sunday, in which Francis came to greet the crowd, showed his absolute devotion to the church.
Once he had finished the day yesterday, it was finished. He had done this. He did what he had set out to do. I think that's emblematic of his whole papacy. He wanted to just be engaged, to be active, to be out there with the people. It was certainly a pope with a pastor's heart.
In Madison, Kyle Pozorski, News 3 Now.
Kyle, thank you. Bishop Hines says his hope is the next pope will build on the legacies of each of the previous 3 papacies.
Turning to weather now, a wet and dreary beginning to the work week. First-born meteorologist Blaze Keller is out on that patio, hopefully getting a little better.
Well, for a short amount of time, yeah, and then more rain moves into the forecast, which maybe some folks are excited for. Other folks, they like this dry weather. We're getting some peaks of sunshine out here amongst the kind of overcast cloud cover, but we'll eventually clear out before those clouds move back in, ahead of our next chance for rain, occurring mainly after midnight. Future Track at 2 a.m. has those showers and a few thunderstorms still in Minnesota and Iowa, but shortly thereafter, through at least the morning commute time frame, we're going to be dealing with those scattered showers. Not everybody will see them, and I think the better chance for that rain is going to be further to the south. And then those showers, much like on this past weekend, they'll wrap up as we go throughout the day, much like today. And we could squeeze out a few peaks of sunshine there, starting in the early to mid-afternoon onwards, before yet another round of rain moves in for your Wednesday and your Thursday as well. With heavier rain expected further south, that's where we could pick up isolated spots of a quarter to a half an inch of rain, but most, as you're seeing there, likely only going to pick up a light amount to a tenth of an inch. In terms of temperatures, underneath the overcast conditions, we're in the 50s, so a little bit cooler than I think a lot of us would like to be at for this time of day in the point in the year. Low 50s across Dane County. We're into the mid 60s for your Tuesday. We'll track out that rain and talk about the other rain chances this week in the full forecast.
Sounds good. Thank you, Blaze. In other news today, the Evansville man charged with assaulting and exploiting a teenager will go to trial. This morning, 26-year-old Hunter Dreyfall pleaded not guilty to 1 count of second-degree sexual child assault, 1 count of child sexual exploitation and 5 counts of possessing child sexual abuse material. Those charges stem from an investigation into the deadly shooting of 14-year-old Florencia Henthorne earlier this month. On the morning of April 6th, first responders arrived at South Madison Avenue in Evansville, where they found the 14-year-old with a gunshot wound. They did take her to the hospital, where she later died. A few days later, prosecutors charged Dreyfall and 20-year-old Alyssa Ahrens with multiple child sex crimes. Ahrens appeared in court briefly this morning, but her initial appearance was then rescheduled for April 29th.
We now know the name of the victim in last week's possible accidental shooting. 19-year-old Deshaun Sturkey of McFarland died from his injuries on Thursday. Police responded to Fish Hatchery Road Wednesday night at 10, where they found Sturkey and took him to the hospital. Madison police arrested 17-year-old Montre Stalling. He's charged with homicide by negligent handling of a dangerous weapon, stalling out on a cash bond due back in court on May 1st. A new analysis from the CDC found that on average, emergency rooms in the U.S. treat a gunshot injury every half hour. The authors say the analysis is the largest of its kind to use timely data in urban and also in rural areas. The study analyzed more than 93,000 ER visits for firearm injuries over 5 years through data from its Firearm Injury Surveillance Through Emergency Rooms, or FASTER. It found there were more firearm injuries at night, on the weekends, and on some holidays like Independence Day and New Year's Eve. Today, a ceremonial tree planting honored the lives of the Abundant Life School shooting victims.
The tree was planted outside of SSM Health's South Stoughton Road location. That's the clinic used as the reunification center for students and families the day of the shooting. Our Maddie Heimsch reports.
It's been months since this SSM Health clinic served as a reunification center on the day of the Abundant Life school shooting. But one SSM employee tells me the emotions of that day are still raw.
There's just a wide array of things that go through your mind, and it was, it brought up a lot of that again today.
Katie Garno is the SSM Health Stoughton Road clinic manager. She says December 16th was a team effort.
When we saw there was a lot of commotion outside, the first thing we did was just kind of call the non-emergent number to see if we could find out what was going on. And then as soon as we knew, then it was kind of an all hands on deck.
By late morning, the clinic had postponed all scheduled appointments for the day and became the meeting point for more than 400 students and families. 14-year-old student Ruby Vergara and 42-year-old teacher Aaron West were never reunited with their loved ones. One student injured in the shooting is still in the hospital in critical condition. Reporting on Madison's east side, I'm Maddie Heimsch, News 3 Now.
Thank you, Maddie, and we will have more on that ceremony tonight at 10.
The Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources is looking for someone who illegally killed a bull elk in Jackson County. That bull, known as number 244, was found off East Snow Creek Road on private property north of Black River Falls. DNR staff in the area, they were looking to relocate a small group of elk. The autopsy shows 244 is one of the last left from a group brought here from Kentucky back in 2016. He died from a gunshot wound. Anyone with information is asked to contact the DNR's confidential hotline. You can find that on this story linked at our website, channel3000.com.
Madison College has picked its new president. This after longtime college president Jack Daniels III retired back in January. Dr. Jennifer Byrne will now become the next president of Madison College on July 1st. Dr. Byrne has 30 years of experience in higher education as a researcher, academic leader, and other various roles. She is currently serving as provost of Oakland Community College in Michigan. Well, coming up on News 3 Now at 6, the city of Madison reveals what caused a sewage overflow last week.
Plus, a new phone scam has con artists trying to get personal information, including your social security number. We'll have the details. Stay with us.
At 6.
Welcome back. Right now, people nationwide are receiving voicemails that seem innocent, but experts are warning it's a scam. The voicemails are from someone named Jessica, claiming to be with a loan processing center asking you about a car loan. The message leaves you with a number to call back. The Better Business Bureau says their scam tracker has received hundreds of these complaints about the calls from Jessica. This type of scam is often looking, of course, for your personal information.
We know our social security numbers are very valuable to scammers, so giving up that information, unfortunately, could open you up to identity theft.
Authorities say reporting a scam can also help others avoid it and help them shut down the scammers.
Well, the city of Madison says it cleaned up an estimated 300 gallons of sewage that overflowed in the city's east side on Friday. The spill was reported from a sanitary access structure at the corner of Acewood Boulevard and Goldfinch Drive about 10:30 in the morning. Cleanup was completed by 12:45 in the afternoon. Crews were able to contain the overflow and determined tree roots in the sewer were the cause.
And still ahead, Packers contributor Jason Wilde returns. More on the upcoming NFL draft.
Plus, Earth Day is right around the corner. How one project looks to help neighbors cut back on waste and save some time and money.
And how much more rain will we see this week? Blaze is back. The complete forecast after a short break.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
Well, tomorrow is Earth Day, and many communities will be hosting conservation events to mark the day.
One nonprofit is hoping to make the environment cleaner year-round. It's called the Buy Nothing Project, and here's how. Post items you no longer need, blenders, rocking chairs, clothes, you name it, and see if one of your neighbors needs it or wants it. If you're interested, you comment on the post, coordinate the exchange, and those items don't end up in the trash. It also helps your neighbors save money.
They come for the stuff, they stay for the community. There is a power in togetherness and sharing. They're connecting with their neighbors.
The Buy Nothing Project has also launched an app, and on the app you can give a tip, which helps raise money for future projects.
Well, retailer Target is getting hit hard by backlash after rolling back its DEI efforts. The major retailer said it would eliminate hiring goals for minority employees, end an executive committee focused on racial justice, and make other changes to its diversity initiatives. DEI supporters reacted with fierce blowback, protesting Target's decision. More than 200,000 people participated in the nationwide boycott of the retailer, and according to data from analytics firm Placer.ai, foot traffic at Target stores has been declining for 10 consecutive weeks. Well, windy today, but we could see more rain later in the week. We have Blaze with the complete forecast now.
That's right. We're looking at rain chances near daily tomorrow, continuing into your Wednesday and your Thursday as well. The rain on Tuesday primarily going to be in the morning, but we're going to watch where a front eventually sets up. It's going to become stationary just to our south. But if it doesn't make its way quite out of southern Wisconsin, we may be dealing with a thunderstorm or two that could produce some hail. But we're looking at 50s and 60s. Maybe even a few low 70s out near Platteville and Prairie du Chien on your Tuesday, with that morning activity wrapping up and that cloud cover decreasing from west to east as we go throughout your Tuesday. Temperatures a little bit warmer than average, but certainly warmer than today. Here is a look at our rain chances over the next couple of days. Really spiking there as we go into your Wednesday, then again Thursday night into Friday. We do get a break from the rain Saturday before we welcome back those rain chances and a few thunderstorm chances Sunday, Monday, Tuesday of the following work week. So we do have a marginal risk for severe weather across mainly extreme southern parts of Wisconsin if you're hugging the Illinois border for your Tuesday. As I mentioned, it's going to be along the stationary front. So if that pushes further to our south and remains in northern Illinois, we're likely going to be out of that severe weather threat on your Tuesday. But because we're going to be slightly warmer, there's going to be a little bit of moisture for these storms to play with compared to today. We could be dealing with some large hail. That's going to be our primary threat, and maybe some gusty winds at times if we see severe weather. Marginal risk is the lowest of the categories outlined by the Storm Prediction Center, and it really doesn't look too promising, but there's always that chance. Again, stationary fronts, they're still a front, regardless of the fact that they're not moving. So there's that upward motion in the atmosphere. So we'll keep an eye on it as we head into your Tuesday afternoon. Of course, we've been talking about it all last week, and we're going to continue to talk about it throughout this week because we're going to be heading up to the NFL draft. If you're heading up there Wednesday, upper 60s to low 70s, scattered showers and thunderstorms possible. For the start of the draft on Thursday, mid 60s with a better chance for rain, and then that rain will taper off as we go throughout your Friday, leaving us with sunny conditions and mid to upper 50s both Friday and then on Saturday as well. You may have saw the photo yesterday. I just got done writing up our latest Beyond the Barometer about why the muskie in the Lake Wingra area make this jump that some have seen, some haven't. Bill, he was out there, I believe on Saturday, capturing this muskie making that jump. It has to do with water temperature. We also dive into why the muskie population in the Madison area actually has to be restocked every year as well. So that I encourage you to read that if you are an avid fish lover or you like to just read more about local nature. There is a look at your 10-day forecast. 70s on Wednesday and Thursday. Friday, we deal with those rain chances, and much like Green Bay, we will be sunny on Saturday. We welcome back that chance for rain Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of the following work week. So it does look like we're going to be at least nearing the end of April on the rainy but somewhat warm side of things.
All right, Blaze, thank you. We're a little more than 3 days away now from the 2025 NFL Draft in Green Bay, and the Packers currently are finalizing their draft board. And while many fans are looking to see who will be joining the team, another big question is who may not be on the roster. And while answering questions today, Packers general manager Brian Gutekunst said he had no updates for cornerback Jair Alexander. Reports of possibly trading the veteran have come up, but there has been no signs of any deals. Recent injuries to Alexander have made it difficult to negotiate a deal. Our Packers insider Jason Wilde offers his thoughts on Alexander's future with the green and gold.
I think it's pretty clear that his days are numbered. Packers still holding out hope to get something for him in a trade. I think that's looking like a slimmer and slimmer possibility. I'm guessing they'll wait until after the draft and then hope one last time there'll be a trade partner interested, and if not, they will release him.
The News 3 Now getting you ready for the big event all this week. I'll provide team coverage alongside sports director Zach Hanley and Andrew Banstra. Jason Wilde as well will have the site's sounds and strategy leading up to this week's draft pick. Zach?
And coming up in sports, to stay or to go, why it was an easy decision for Cade Giacomelli to return to Wisconsin. That's next on News 3 Now. Happy NFL Draft Week. The countdown is down to just 3 days until all eyes are on Green Bay, and the Packers need a couple of things to improve their roster, like a true number one wide receiver, or how about another pass rusher, or maybe some help on that offensive line. And while those might be the needs, GM Brian Gutekunst isn't targeting one certain position. For him, it's best player available in Titletown.
I feel really good about our roster right now. I mean, I think that's one of the it doesn't happen every year. I mean, every year is a little bit different, but like, if we had to go play next week, I feel really good about our roster and our ability to win and go compete. So, hopefully as this draft unfolds, we're able to just kind of sit back and select the best players that fall to us. I mean, that'll be, I think something we prepared ourselves to be in.
Last year was the curious case of Cade Giacomelli. The Badger running back averaged over 8 yards per carry, but for some reason didn't carry the ball once during Wisconsin's last 5 games. The thought was Giacomelli's going to transfer. Well, that wasn't the case. He's back for another season and looking to contribute even more at a place that he says means so much to him.
This is something that goes without being said. I think it's just a hats off to Wisconsin and my teammates too, is the relationships and the memories I have with the guys down there. I mean, it's something I don't really know if I'll ever be able to say goodbye to. That's something that always keeps me here. It's always like something that kind of nags at me, even when I have a couple of those thoughts last year, like the memories and the relationships I built with those guys. I can't leave that behind.
And some good news for the Bucks. Damian Lillard's status for Tuesday's Game 2 has been upgraded to questionable. Remember, he's been out since March 18th and recently received the all clear to return to practice. Lillard averaged nearly 25 points and 7 assists this season and will provide a huge boost for a team that lost by 19 on Saturday in Game 1.
That wasn't pretty. They definitely need a rebound. Our draft coverage starts from Green Bay on Wednesday. And some former Badgers are going to be involved in the announcements,
A lot of guys. We've been reaching out to try to, talk to them. But how cool is that? Like Alec Ingle, Melvin Gordon, hometown guys.
They'll make the announcement for their teams. Jonathan Taylor will make the Colts announcement.
But if you're a Wisconsinite who played with the Badgers, getting to do that, I mean, you're going to remember that forever. And Joe Thomas is going to be there.
For the Browns,
and then all the former Packers, Jordy Nelson, Clay Matthews, Amon Green, Mason Crosby. I mean, the list goes on and on.
It's going to be a special week here in Wisconsin. We need the weather to cooperate when we're standing outside live on Wednesday outside Lambeau Field, but I don't think it will.
No, I would definitely take the umbrella, or you guys are setting up a tent, right?
I think so.
Yeah,
we hope so.
It's not going to be widespread, but definitely there's going to be those showers and thunderstorms. It begins tonight. We get a little bit of a break there later Tuesday, but it does look like the rain chances are going to return as we go into your Wednesday and then really pick up Thursday into Friday. So 30s and 40s tonight, some patchy fog possible as well. Upper 60s to low 70s Wednesday and Thursday. A little bit cooler up in Lambeau on Thursday. And then as we go into Saturday, so as, of course, the draft is wrapping up, it becomes sunny and we dry out. Upper 50s to low 60s, not only here, but up in Green Bay as well. So a nice ending to the draft, I guess.
It's still beautiful, the temperature. I'll take it.
Well, I can't change it. So.
Everybody goes quiet. The guys who have to be outside get quiet. I get to say, that's okay.
Tonight at 10, we'll have more on the ceremonial tree planting honoring shooting victims at Abundant Life Christian School in December. We will hear from providers who responded that day nearby at SSM Health and ALCS officials as well as they honor those lost in December. Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 6. Have a good evening.